Howdy, I'm Flowey KOBK, and today I thought I would tell you guys about a few of my best friends I've ever had in my life, and how they became my friends. I guess my first friend I remember actually having was in kindergarten. Her name was Kayla. She was actually the first, like, African-American friend I've ever had, or person I've ever actually met that I can remember. And she and I would play in our kindergarten class together. We'd, you know those big sit and bounce things like the 90s kids used to have? We used to sit on those and bounce on those in the playground. We used to play like hide and seek in the playground and stuff, and she was one of my best friends in kindergarten. I don't really remember a lot about her except for the fact that her name was Kayla. And it was just, I don't know, it was really weird because like she was the first friend I remember actually having like ever in my life, and I don't remember a lot about her. I don't even know where she is. I don't know her last name or anything. It was forever ago. It was kindergarten. But she was pretty cool. Like, I really enjoyed playing with her, and like when I was 5 years old and just running around and exploring and everything. It was a lot of fun. So she was one of the first friends I've had. And the second friend I remember ever having, I think it was in second grade, I had a friend named Nadia. And we used to live in Valrico, Florida, and she used to live right up the street from me. And I only hung out with her a few times when I lived there. But she and I were really, really close, and we would just hang out in her room and make little bracelets and stuff, and we'd dance to like silly, stupid music, and we'd ride our scooters down the streets when kids were actually kids, you know, when kids actually play outside and they did what they were supposed to do. And I remember we actually had to move May or something of like 2004, 2005, I think, because we moved to Tennessee. And the last day I was there, I remember I don't think I got to say goodbye to her, which I think was really sad. I don't think we got to say goodbye to her, and that made me really, really upset. And I haven't heard from her or anything in a long time, but she was my best friend. And then in like middle school, my best friend was, or I guess 4th grade, my best friend was Amber. And she and I we got along really well, but she had a slight bit of Down syndrome, and I didn't know at the time. Like, she just seemed like normal to me. She was my best friend, and I didn't consider her different from anybody else. And we were just really close. We talked about everything, and she and I were joking about everything, and we hung out every single day at school, and we sat together with my other friend Sydney, and then her other friend Kevin, I think his name was. We all just hung out and talked, and it was really cool. I really enjoyed her company. We went to the dance together. High school, I kind of started off with like not really any real friends at all. Like, I kind of just started with nobody, and I became friends with this girl in my chemistry class named Carrie. She was a really good friend of mine, but we didn't really hang out at all. I don't think we ever actually hung out outside of school, but in school we were best friends. Like, that's how my life has been. Like, I've never actually had a friend that I've hung out with, like, outside of where I see them, which is kind of weird. Like, I do it now, but back then it was like I saw a friend at school and they were my best friend, regardless of whether or not we actually did stuff outside of school. Like, they were my best friends, you know? And then I had a friend named Melissa. She was a friend who I actually did hang out with a couple times outside of school, and we played video games together, and she's the one who got me into PewDiePie back in 2012. In 2013 I met, who I'm going to be talking about a bit more towards the end of the video as well, because she's still my really good friend. Her name is Alyssa, and she's one of the best friends I've ever had. She was a manager at Chick-fil-A. We had all these inside jokes. If you guys have ever seen Alka-Teen Hunger Force, like that silly Adult Swim like cartoon with Carl and the French fries and the shake and everything, and the meatball. we always had like these like freaking ridiculous inside jokes. It's a really, really inappropriate show. But it was just fun to like take a part of that, and then we had always like made up SpongeBob references, like the fish and SpongeBob. We're fun to like, excuse me, sir. I hope my ugliness will not be a distraction to you during the movie. The fish goes, not at all, boy. He goes, yeah. It makes this ridiculous face. And recently we've been like finding like little memes off of that, or like funny videos where like they do it in different languages and stuff, and it's just really freaking funny. And she and I were really close friends. We weren't exactly very close at Chick-fil-A, but we've become a lot closer now because neither of us work at Seminole Chick-fil-A anymore. I work at Largo Chick-fil-A, but I don't work at Seminole Chick-fil-A anymore. So we've become a lot closer in that regard. And we hang out like almost every other weekend. We hang out and do something. And she's just one of the people I can really be myself around, and I feel like I can really be who I want to be around. And so she was really cool. I became friends with Zach was my friend in math class, and we've hung out several times outside of work, and I actually had a thing for him for a while, and then recently I kind of like, I said forget it, it's not gonna happen, but he and I are really close, even though we almost have nothing in common, like, almost nothing in common. Like, he is all about cars and rock music and stuff like that, and he's really into like vampirism and stuff like that, which is really cool. And I'm not saying it's not like, you know, I don't think it's cool. I think it's interesting. I'm just not really one to like delve into that myself. And he's always so sarcastic and witty and just goofy, and he and I have been pretty close for a while. But recently, we kind of drifted apart. We had this really big inside joke that I'm not going to go into because it's kind of more of like a personal joke between the two of us. But we've always gone back to that joke whenever we ran out of things to talk about. And it was really cool. I've never been one to be friends with a lot of people. And a lot of friends I've had in the past have kind of just drifted away. Or I just don't want to talk to them anymore. Recently, I've talked to this guy on Omegle named Mr. Energy on YouTube. He's the guy I talk to all the time on YouTube. And he and I have had like a rocky friendship, I guess, because I liked him at one point and I wanted to date him at one point, and then I actually went to his house and we just talked, and we're still friends, but we don't really talk as much as we used to, which is kind of sad, I guess. But I still watch his videos every now and then, and I still message him like, hey, how's it going? And then sometimes he just like really makes me mad about something. He'll say something that makes me really mad, and I'll just kind of like stop talking to him for a few weeks, and this is one of those periods right now. I'm kind of mad at him for something, but eventually I'll go back to him and say hey and forgive him. But he's one of my friends. Again, we don't really have anything in common either, except I got him watching Once Upon a Time while I was up there in Iowa. I got him watching that show, and I think he's actually still watching it because it's still on my it's on my Netflix, and he's on season 2 now, and I'm like, hey, he's actually still watching the show. That's awesome. So I hope he likes it. So if you're watching this, Mr. E, hope you like the show. Anyway, going back to Alyssa, I went to her house last night. And she really helped me in a difficult time because when I left the Navy and I came back, I didn't have a place to live. My grandparents had emptied my room, and they were going to do that anyway. It's not like they did it, like, you know, spur of the moment. They had been planning to do that for months, and they thought I was going to be gone for a few years at least in the Navy, so they thought I wasn't coming back to that room. So it wasn't really their fault when I came back unexpectedly, and they didn't have a place for me to stay. So they're like, well, you're an adult now anyway, you should find your own place to live. So I was like, okay, but I was kind of struggling because I was kind of like, you know, it's immediately happening, and I had like nothing to think about, no place to live. So I asked Alyssa and her friend Chris to let me stay with them, and they said I could. And I stayed there for 6 weeks, and it was probably the best 6 weeks I've had in a long time, because they're just so much fun to hang out with. Chris is really cool. He's into like guitars and music and math. Like, he loves math. Like, he's like a math like genius. And Alyssa is like into nature and birds and Markiplier, which she and I both like. Markiplier. It's Mark. Hey. We both watch Markiplier all the time. And I stayed there with them for 6 weeks, and they were just a huge help for everything to me. They were very, very kind and very generous and very just funny and fun to hang out with for 6 weeks. So that was really cool. So anyway, I went back to her house last night, and we were watching like SmackDown, and she got a Sony's barbecue grill. And we were watching SmackDown, and we were watching Markiplier videos for like 4 hours straight. And we were watching Mark's improv videos, and we were watching the Gingerbread video. If you haven't seen that yet, I highly recommend you watch it. And then at one point, Chris takes out his electric guitar, and he starts playing, like, I start, like, finding Undertale songs, and I started, like, asking him to play it, because he's really good. Like, he can, like, listen to a song and just sit there and play it, like, without a problem, and it's so cool. So I found a bunch of Undertale songs, and he started playing those, and then at one point, I'm like, can you teach me how to play guitar? Because I don't know how to play guitar at all. Like, I know how to play piano. It took me, like, 6 years to get where I am on piano. I'm still really sucky at piano. So he goes into his room, he pulls out an acoustic guitar, and he's like, you can borrow this. And I'm like, what? He let me borrow his acoustic guitar. It's over there in the case. I'm gonna take it out later and play some more today, but holy crap. I was like, you're gonna let me play your guitar? That's awesome. So he taught me how to play some chords on there and everything, and he was so cool about it, and he was to teach me musical theory and stuff, and I was just like, what in the world? And it was just so nice. Like, oh my god. Alyssa and Chris are probably my best friends, like, I've had, like, ever in my life. Like, they are so cool. They've helped me through so much stuff. and they're always there for me, and I just really appreciate them. So thank you guys so much. If you're watching this, which I probably assume you will, just thank you for everything you've done for me in these last 3 years, like 4 years actually, because I've known Alyssa for about 4 years. I've known Chris for about 4 years too, because I met him briefly at Chick-fil-A when they first started dating. But oh my god, it's just been so cool. It's been amazing. So just thank you, Alyssa. Thank you, Chris, for everything you've done for me. You guys are probably the best friends I've ever had. Like, for real. Like, I hang out with you guys all the time, and you guys are always so supportive and understanding of what I've been going through, and it's just amazing. So thank you. Best friends forever. But yeah, those are some really good friends I've had in the past and recently. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I know this is kind of like a weird vlog. I don't know. I didn't have anything to record today. Like, I didn't have anything prepped because I went to her house last night, and I was supposed to record something last night. I'm like, oh well, I can record a vlog tomorrow. I wonder what I can talk about. I can talk about friends. So here I am, talking about friends and appreciating my friends. And I have some online friends that are awesome too. Like, Samson Caldera is really cool. He and I Skype every now and then. Gamer for Life is my guy on my channel who's always commenting and always there in the comments and liking, and he's really cool and supportive of my channel, so thank you, Samson. And just a few other internet friends, like Jacksepticeye on Twitter and Tumblr. She's like my best friend on the internet, like right now. Like, she and I are really cool with each other. We miss each other all the time and give each other support and help through tough times. And so I have some really awesome internet friends. And then all for you guys on my channel are my friends, even if we don't talk. We're still friends because you watch my content and you interact in the comments every now and then, and I just really appreciative of that. So thank you so much for that. And I have like Tumblr followers who I talk to all the time. So everybody on the internet is really nice to me. So just thank you. I appreciate it. I don't think I've actually gotten any real hate comments yet, which is kind of bizarre. I seriously don't think I've gotten any real actual hate comments on my videos here, which is really nice. So thank you guys so much. And I appreciate every single one of you guys. And have a great day, okay? And as always, stay determined. Like a boss. Love, Flowey, your very best friend.